Ava Reynolds braced herself as the shuttle descended towards the gleaming towers of the Galactic Academy on Aonis. The sight was breathtaking, but Ava's stomach churned with a mix of anticipation and apprehension. Beside her, a fellow newcomer, Jax, a Trilok from Beta Centauri, peered curiously at her. "First time seeing the Academy?" he asked, his voice a deep rumble. Ava nodded, trying to muster a smile. "It's just a lot to take in." "You're not alone," chimed in another voice. They turned to see Lena, a bright-eyed student from Sirius, adjusting her spectacles. "Every year, students from across the galaxies come here. Everyone feels out of their depth at first." The shuttle landed smoothly, and the doors slid open with a hiss. Ava gathered her bag, her heart pounding as she stepped onto the alien soil. The air was crisp, filled with a hint of ozone, and the gravity slightly lighter than Earth's. Jax stretched his towering limbs. "Well, let's not keep the future waiting, shall we?" He gestured grandly towards the exit. Together, they walked towards the registration hall, a vast circular room with walls that shimmered with holographic displays of the galaxy. Groups of students huddled together, some humanoid, some not, all chattering in a symphony of languages. Ava felt a sudden thrill. This was the cosmos coming together, right here in this hall. Lena linked her arm through Ava's. "Come on, I'll show you how to register. It's a bit tricky the first time." They approached a kiosk where Lena demonstrated the registration process. "Just place your hand here," she instructed, indicating a glowing panel. Ava complied, and the machine hummed, projecting her student profile in the air. "Interesting," a new voice noted. Ava turned to see a tall, slender figure with iridescent skin and large, thoughtful eyes. "Ava Reynolds, Earth. Not many from your world here." Ava's face warmed. "Yeah, I guess Earth isn't exactly the heart of galactic academia." The figure laughed, a musical sound that echoed lightly around them. "I'm Silas, from Arcturus. We should stick together, you know. Us rarities." Jax grinned. "Looks like you're making friends already, Ava." Silas nodded towards a group forming by the main door. "There's a welcome tour starting soon. They'll show us the main facilities, including the dorms and the training sectors. You coming?" Together, the group joined the tour, led by a peppy robot named Tick 300. "Welcome, esteemed students, to the Galactic Academy, where the best and brightest come to forge the future," Tick 300 trilled as it floated ahead. As they moved through corridors lined with portraits of notable alumni and artifacts from 1,000 worlds, Ava felt her earlier nerves dissipate, replaced by a budding sense of wonder and possibility. Here, at the edge of the known universe, surrounded by the unknown, Ava realized she was exactly where she needed to be. The suns of Aonis set in a brilliant cascade of colors, casting a warm glow over the sprawling campus of the Galactic Academy, as Ava and her new acquaintances walked back from the tour. The awe-inspiring architecture around them, combining ancient stone with ultra-modern holographics, mirrored the diverse assembly of students from across the universe. "Never thought I'd end up in a place like this," Jax commented, looking around with wide eyes. His voice carried a tone of admiration that Ava shared. Lena laughed, her gaze fixed on a floating sculpture that continuously reshaped itself. "Imagine what we'll learn here," she mused. As they approached the commons area, a hub of student activity, Silas suggested, "Let's grab something to eat. I hear the cafeteria has dishes from over 500 planets." The group agreed eagerly and made their way to the bustling cafeteria. Inside, rows of tables were filled with students engaged in animated conversations. A vast array of food stations offered an unimaginable variety of alien cuisine. Ava hesitated, eyeing a dish that seemed to be moving of its own volition. Seeing her reluctance, Silas picked up a small plate of it. "This is Zarnik jelly. It's actually quite delicious if you don't mind the squirm." Taking a tentative bite, Ava was surprised at the burst of flavors. "Wow, that's unexpectedly good." Encouraged by her adventurous spirit, the others also began sampling different dishes. Amidst the laughter and shared meals, their bond began to solidify. After they finished eating, Lena nudged Ava gently. "You should tell them about Earth, Ava. Your stories at the shuttle were fascinating." With a modest nod, Ava began recounting tales of Earth's wild landscapes, its vast oceans, towering mountains, and sprawling deserts. She described the harsh winters of the north and the searing heat of the deserts, where survival was a daily challenge. Jax listened intently, his earlier humor replaced by a newfound respect. "That sounds like a survival trial on its own. Lena added, and here I complained about Cyrus's mild summers being too harsh. Their conversation caught the attention of nearby students, who began to drift closer, drawn in by Ava's vivid storytelling. Soon, she was speaking to a small crowd, her descriptions of Earth's natural wonders and resilient life forms painting a picture of a planet both beautiful and brutal. As the group dispersed, a Thessian student with luminescent wings approached Ava. I had no idea Earth was considered a HellWorld. Your resilience must be extraordinary. Ava shrugged, a smile tugging at her lips. I suppose it's just home to me, but I'm here to learn how to bring some of that strength to the stars. As the evening drew to a close, Ava felt a sense of accomplishment. Her unique background, rather than making her an outsider, had given her a platform to share and contribute. She looked forward to the challenges ahead, knowing she had not only the support of her new friends, but also the curiosity of an entire academy. The following morning, the academy buzzed with the energy of new challenges and the eager discussions of students. Ava, having captured the interest of her peers with Tales of Earth, found herself at the center of a unique proposition proposed by Professor Thalrix, an esteemed xenobiologist from Xyloc. Miss Reynolds, Professor Thalrix began as he approached her at the end of a lecture, his voice smooth and encouraging. Your experiences on Earth present a fascinating case study in adaptability and survival. Would you consider participating in a live simulation exercise? It could provide invaluable data and teach us all a thing or two about Earth's environments. Ava felt a mixture of pride and anxiety. What exactly does this simulation involve, Professor? It's a controlled replication of Earth-like conditions based on your descriptions, explained Professor Thalrix. We adjust variables to reflect Earth's extreme weather and terrain. It's safe, but quite revealing. Jax, who had been listening, chimed in. That sounds like a chance to show what Earthlings are made of. Lena smiled supportively. And we'll all be here to back you up. With a deep breath, Ava agreed. All right, let's do it. Over the next few days, Ava worked with Professor Thalrix and a team of tech specialists to set up the simulation. They designed scenarios that ranged from navigating through a dense rainforest to surviving a dry desert under a scorching sun. Ava provided key insights to ensure the authenticity of each environment. On the day of the simulation, students gathered in the Academy's largest virtual reality lab, a dome-shaped room lined with state-of-the-art sensory equipment capable of creating nearly any environment imaginable. Ava entered the simulation chamber, her suit equipped with various sensors. As the chamber doors sealed, a virtual rainforest materialized around her. She could feel the humidity, hear the sounds of distant wildlife, and even smell the earthy scent of wet foliage. Remember, everyone, Professor Thalrix's voice echoed in the chamber. This is about learning, not just performance. Ava navigated the simulated environment with impressive dexterity, using skills she'd honed as a child hiking and camping in the wilds of Earth. Her classmates watched through observation windows, marveling at how she used natural resources to build shelter and find water. The scenario shifted from rainforest to Arctic tundra, then to a storm-swept mountain peak. With each change, Ava adapted swiftly, showcasing not just physical endurance, but a deep understanding of ecological principles. As the final scenario ended, the chamber walls faded back into the dull gray of the lab. Ava emerged to applause, slightly breathless but beaming. Your performance was remarkable, Silas said, impressed by her ability to handle each challenge. Ava laughed, wiping a bead of sweat from her brow. It's just like back home. Never know what you're going to get with Earth weather. Professor Thalrix approached, a broad smile on his face. Miss Reynolds, you've given us all a remarkable demonstration today. This goes beyond mere survival. It's a masterclass in adaptability. As the crowd dispersed, Ava's peers gathered around her, their faces alight with newfound respect and curiosity. They were eager to learn more, not just about Earth, but about the human spirit that thrived in adversity. Ava felt a swell of pride, not just for herself, but for the little blue planet she called home. In the days following the simulation, Ava's reputation flourished. Students from different species approached her with questions about Earth, intrigued by her survival skills and the planet's diverse ecosystems. However, not all attention was positive. Whispers of envy and skepticism began to circulate among a small group of students who viewed Ava's sudden prominence as a threat to their own standing at the Academy. One afternoon, while Ava was examining botanical samples in the biolab, she overheard a hushed conversation from behind a row of fern-like plants. I don't see what's so special about her or that backwater planet she comes from, murmured a voice, dripping with disdain. It was Zorath, a student from a technologically advanced planet known for its harsh academic competitiveness. Exactly, agreed another voice belonging to Mira, a fellow student known for her ambitious nature. She makes it sound as if living on Earth is some kind of heroic act. It's just theatrics. Ava felt a sting of hurt, but decided to confront the issue head-on. She stepped around the ferns, facing Zorath and Mira with calm determination. It seems you have some misconceptions about Earth. Maybe you'd like to discuss them openly. Zorath, taken aback by Ava's direct approach, recovered quickly. We're just saying that there's a difference between survival tricks and real scientific prowess. You seem to be favored for the former. Survival tricks, Ava replied, keeping her tone even. Those skills are honed by understanding the science of the environment, just like any other academic discipline here. I'd be happy to share more about it. Mira smirked, a challenge sparkling in her eyes. Perhaps then you'd be willing to compete in the upcoming Intergalactic Skills Tournament? Let's see how well Earth's techniques hold up under rigorous competition. Accepting the challenge, Ava nodded. I'll be there. And I hope it'll change your perspective on what Earth has to offer. As news of the challenge spread, anticipation built around the Academy. Ava spent the following weeks preparing, diving into advanced studies with her friends Jax and Lena, who supported her tirelessly. They reviewed astrophysics, quantum mechanics, and xenobiology, integrating Earth-based methods with interstellar technologies. Meanwhile, Zorath and Mira prepared in their own way, rallying support from students who doubted Earth's contributions to the galaxy. The campus became a hotbed of rivalry, split between those who admired Ava's pragmatic approach and those who deemed it primitive. The evening before the tournament, Ava sat under the stars, Jax and Lena by her side. They talked about the vastness of the universe and the smallness of their own problems within it, reaffirming their friendship and mutual respect. Whatever happens tomorrow, Lena said, squeezing Ava's hand, you've already changed a lot of minds about Earth. Yes, Ava agreed, gazing up at the swirling galaxies above. And maybe tomorrow, we can change a few more. Her resolve was clear. The tournament was more than a competition. It was a chance to showcase the depth and value of Earth's wisdom on a galactic stage. The morning of the Intergalactic Skills Tournament dawned bright and clear, with a palpable tension hanging over the Academy. Ava, surrounded by her steadfast friends Jax and Lena, walked into the grand auditorium, a magnificent structure where the tournament was to be held. Her heart raced with anticipation, but her steps were steady, grounded by her weeks of intense preparation. The auditorium was abuzz with creatures of every shape and size, all gathering to witness the showcase of some of the brightest minds from across the universe. Amidst the crowd, Ava spotted Zorath and Mira, who gave her a cool, calculating look. She responded with a nod, her focus undeterred. As the competition commenced, Ava found herself one of the key participants in the first event of the day, a debate on the most effective survival strategies across different planetary conditions. The topic was perfectly suited to highlight Earth's unique environment, and Ava felt a surge of confidence as she took the stage. Her opponent, a renowned scholar from the aquatic planet Hydronus, presented a series of sophisticated water-based survival tactics. Ava listened respectfully, then took her turn at the podium. Drawing from her personal experiences and the rigorous scientific training she had undergone at the Academy, Ava argued passionately for the versatility and robustness of Earth's survival strategies, which had evolved in response to a planet teeming with life and natural disasters. Consider the complexity of navigating Earth's diverse biomes, Ava explained, her voice resonant in the hushed auditorium. From rainforests and deserts to the frozen tundras, each environment demands a unique set of skills that have broader applications in understanding and adapting to any planetary ecosystem. The crowd murmured in agreement as Ava detailed how these skills could be applied universally, enhancing survival tactics on planets from ice worlds to volcanic landscapes. As the debate concluded, the judges deliberated, their discussion animated and prolonged. Finally, they returned to announce Ava as the winner of the debate, commending her comprehensive knowledge and the applicability of her arguments. Flushed with victory, Ava stepped down from the podium to cheers and applause, her friends rushing to congratulate her. Even some of her skeptics seemed impressed by her performance, their applause grudging but genuine. However, the day was far from over. Next up was the practical skills competition, and Ava knew this would be her biggest challenge yet. The tasks were designed to simulate extreme conditions, from engineering challenges in zero gravity to medical emergencies in hostile environments. Ava navigated each scenario with a blend of Earth's grounded problem-solving techniques and the advanced technological training she had received at the Academy. Her ability to improvise and adapt under pressure was apparent, drawing nods of approval from the onlookers. As the sun set over Astonished, the final scores were tallied. Ava emerged as one of the top competitors, her skills and knowledge undeniable. She had not only proved her capabilities, but had also demonstrated the intrinsic value of Earth's teachings. That evening, as the campus celebrated the day's competitions, Ava felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had faced down skepticism and rivalry with grace and intellect, fostering respect for her home planet in the hearts of the galaxy's future leaders. The days following the tournament were a whirlwind for Ava. Her success had not only elevated her status at the Academy, but also intensified the spotlight on her. As she prepared for the upcoming Interstellar Project Showcase, a pivotal event where students presented their research and technological innovations, Ava worked tirelessly in the biomechanical lab, her project combining Earth's organic designs with alien technology. However, the air of camaraderie from the tournament's conclusion was short-lived. Undercurrents of envy and rivalry persisted, darker now and more determined. Ava, deeply engrossed in her work, remained largely oblivious to the brewing storm. One evening, as twilight draped its velvet cloak over Astonished, Ava stayed late in the lab, perfecting her biomechanical interface. When she finally left to grab a late dinner, the lab was empty, the hallway echoing her solitary footsteps. Returning an hour later, she paused at the door, sensing something amiss. The lab, usually pristine, looked subtly disturbed. Her heart sank as she approached her workstation. Her project, a delicate assembly of bioengineered tissues and mechanical sensors, lay in disarray, components disconnected and some vital pieces missing. Fighting back frustration, Ava assessed the damage. It was clear this was no accident. It was intentional and malicious sabotage. She took a deep breath, steadying her resolve. Time was short, and she needed to act quickly to salvage her project. She spent the rest of the night in the lab, painstakingly reconstructing her prototype. Jax and Lena came rushing in as soon as they heard, offering their help with repairs and moral support. "Who would do something like this?" Jax growled, his hands deftly working to recalibrate a sensor. Lena, more reflective, added softly, "Success breeds both admirers and adversaries, Ava. But remember, you have more of the former." As dawn broke, the project was back on track, albeit not as polished as Ava had hoped. Tired but determined, Ava thanked her friends. "I couldn't have fixed this without you." The showcase began under the high vault of the Academy's grand exhibition hall. Students and faculty from various disciplines gathered, their interest piqued by the innovative projects on display. Despite her fatigue, Ava stood proudly beside her repaired work, explaining the fusion of Earth-based biological principles with advanced alien mechanics. Her project drew a crowd, intrigued by her resilience and the unique integration of natural and technological systems. Whispered discussions filled the air, a mixture of technical admiration and speculative gossip about the sabotage. Midway through the showcase, an Academy official approached Ava with a grave expression. "Miss Reynolds, the integrity you've shown in overcoming last night's challenges is commendable. We are currently reviewing security footage to ensure that the parties responsible are held accountable." Ava nodded, her expression composed yet weary. "Thank you, sir. I believe in what I've created, no matter the obstacles." As the event concluded, Ava felt a complex mix of triumph and trepidation. Her project had received accolades for its innovation and practical applications, yet the shadow of sabotage lingered, a reminder of the challenges still ahead. But with her friends by her side and a renewed sense of purpose, Ava was ready to face whatever came next, her faith in her mission and her origins as strong as ever. As the Academy's showcase concluded and the investigation into the sabotage began, Ava's spirit remained undeterred. Her resilience, repeatedly tested, had become a source of inspiration around the campus. Many who had once questioned her background now stood by her, impressed by her unshakable determination. The final semester pressed on, and Ava continued to excel, her focus shifting towards the end-of-year exams, which included both academic tests and field applications. These exams were critical, determining the students' placements and future opportunities within the galactic community. Ava immersed herself in study and practical training, often found in the simulation labs or the vast library domes, surrounded by stacks of data pads and holographic models. Her project, though previously targeted, had sparked interest among several key faculty members, who offered her advanced resources and mentorship. As exam week approached, tension was high. Ava felt the weight of expectation on her shoulders, not just to succeed for her own future, but to validate her hard-earned respect among her peers and professors. On the day of the practical exam, Ava entered the testing ground, a complex terrain simulator that could mimic any planet's environment. The task was to navigate through a series of physical and technical challenges, implementing solutions for unexpected environmental hazards. Ava's turn came, and she faced a scenario that simulated a volatile, storm-ridden planet. Her task was to stabilize a series of energy relays and rescue stranded robotic units, simulating a disaster response effort. Drawing from her deep well of Earth-taught skills and her intensive academy training, Ava maneuvered through the challenges with adeptness, her movements precise and calculated. Her peers watched, many cheering her on, as she reconfigured the relays to withstand electrical surges and used a makeshift pulley system to retrieve the units. Her innovative approach not only solved the immediate problems, but also ensured long-term stability for the simulated colony, a key aspect the judges were looking for. As the scenario concluded, applause broke out among the onlookers. Ava, catching her breath, allowed herself a small, proud smile. She felt a deep connection to her work, each challenge surmounted reinforcing her belief in her path and her capabilities. The results were announced later that day. Ava's performance had not only topped the charts, but had also set a new standard for integrating practical survival skills with high-level scientific application. Her professors commended her publicly, noting her exceptional ability to adapt and innovate under pressure. Celebrations followed, and Ava was surrounded by friends and admirers. Even Zorath and Mira, her earlier critics, offered grudging congratulations, their earlier hostility tempered by her undeniable competence and integrity. As the festivities continued, Ava found a quiet moment to step outside. She looked up at the stars, thinking of Earth, her family, and the vast unknown future ahead. She had proven herself at the Academy, but more importantly, she had upheld the dignity of her home planet and paved the way for future Earth students. The day of graduation arrived with a wave of bittersweet emotions sweeping through the Galactic Academy. Students from countless worlds donned their ceremonial robes, each adorned with symbols representing their home planets and academic achievements. Ava stood among her peers, her robe bearing the vibrant blue and green of Earth, feeling a profound sense of accomplishment and anticipation. The Grand Auditorium, a place of so many firsts for Ava, was now the backdrop for this pivotal moment. It was filled to the brim with faculty, families, and dignitaries from across the galaxies, all gathered to celebrate the graduating class. The air hummed with a multitude of languages and the subtle melodies of interstellar music, creating a tapestry of sound that was both exhilarating and overwhelming. Ava's name was called, and she walked across the stage to receive her diploma. Her steps were confident, each one echoing through the hall. As she accepted the scroll, the Chancellor, a wise old being from Delphinus, gave her a knowing nod. Ava Reynolds of Earth, your journey has been exemplary. We expect great things from you. The ceremony proceeded with speeches about unity and the future, themes that resonated deeply with Ava. When it was her turn to speak, she stepped up to the podium, her heart full. Today, we stand at the threshold of new beginnings, she began, her voice clear and steady. We came from different stars, but we share a common vision. Let us carry forward the lessons of resilience, cooperation, and innovation as we step into the unknown. Her speech was met with robust applause, her words echoing the collective aspirations of her class. As the ceremony concluded, the graduates threw their caps into the air, a universal gesture of triumph and liberation. After the formalities, Ava joined her friends and mentors at a reception where she was approached by emissaries and recruiters from prestigious institutions and research centers. Her proven skills and unique perspective had opened doors to opportunities she had once only dreamed of. One offer in particular caught her attention, a position as a liaison officer between the Galactic Council and Earth, facilitating cultural and technological exchanges. It's a role that demands diplomacy, intellect, and a deep understanding of diverse species, explained the recruiter, a distinguished officer from the council. We believe you are uniquely suited for this. Ava felt a surge of excitement and pride. This role was not just a job, it was a chance to bridge worlds, to make a meaningful difference on a galactic scale. she accepted the offer, eager to embark on this new chapter. As the celebrations wound down, Ava found a quiet spot overlooking the academy grounds. The suns of Aeonis were setting, casting a golden glow that seemed to promise endless possibilities. She thought about her family back on Earth, her journey through the academy, and the adventures that lay ahead. A smile spread across her face as she realized that no matter where her path led, she would always carry a piece of her home with her, ready to share its story with the stars. Ava turned her gaze upward, where the night sky awaited, a canvas of infinite potential. With a steady breath, she stepped forward, ready to navigate the vast, beautiful expanse of the universe.